Hello, everyone, and welcome to Close Up on America's Business. I'm Michael Nader. This is the television news magazine that goes behind the scenes of the most successful businesses across America. We meet and talk with many of the most innovative business leaders in the country today and learn how new technologies are changing the world around us and in the ways in which we do business. You are about to see one of the most interesting and informative segments we've had the pleasure of presenting on this show. It spotlights a company that is one of the most outstanding in its field, a company that impressed us as being one of the very best.
Insurance. It's one of those things that everybody needs and, in fact, is afraid not to have. And quite frankly, given the choice, most people would tell you they'd rather have more insurance than they currently carry. Insurance is a fascinating subject, and we're about to find out more about that now from a man who has been in the insurance business a long time and certainly knows his way around. His name is Robert Solberg. He's the president and CEO of Campbell Solberg Associates, an independent boutique agency which is headquartered in New York in the heart of the insurance district in Lower Manhattan.
Well, we're a multi-faceted insurance agency that handles personal and commercial lines in the tri-state area. We have about 7,500 customers. And we also have a division that handles financial services. Be it for the corporates or the individuals. Well, on the corporate side, it could be for buy-sell agreements that you want to be funded by life insurance, pension plans, or on the personal side, it could be life insurance or long-term care.
As I understand it, insurance has become really a very impersonal business. Is that true?
I find it that way. A lot of companies have been purchased by other companies. They've grown. They've been run by financial people from the banks, and they mainly look at bottom line. A lot of it has gone impersonal. What we try to do is bring that touch back.
How do you do it? How do you do that?
Well, we try to treat each individual as if we were buying for ourselves. Basically, we try to put ourselves in their shoes and try to fulfill the needs that they require, basically.
When looking for insurance, what do you recommend people do when it comes to finding the right insurance agent for them?
A lot of people just call up and say, I need apartment insurance, but they don't know how to go about it or what it covers. I think the most valuable thing you get from apartment insurance is the personal liability that comes along with it. You know, you might have assets of $50,000, I guess, in an apartment, but if you walk on the street with an umbrella or roller skating and knock someone over or poke someone there with an umbrella, you could wind up with a lawsuit for $1 million and not even know it.
And do you get involved? I mean, do a lot of people file lawsuits for that kind of stuff?
Sure.
I mean, I don't
Sure,
know.
yeah. I mean, if you're rollerblading in the park and happen to bump into an elderly person, they fall over and break their hip, I'm sure there'll be attorneys trying to get a hold of them to sue you.
I have found the insurance business to be one of the only ones that really is recession-proof. Am I right?
Right. What we try to do here is to do a little bit of what's known as risk management, find someone's risk tolerance level, I guess, so they can assume some of the risk themselves, and they might as well save the money on premium. For instance, a lot of people have small claims and don't file them because they don't want to get a record with the insurance carrier, which I think is a good idea, because you don't want to put in small nuisance claims because that goes on your record, and then you'll find it hard to find insurance in the future. What we do is try to sell large deductibles up front, and if there's a small claim, you use the money you saved on the insurance to pay for the claim.
Well, in discussing deductibles, what would you consider a large deductible?
Well, typically, years ago, the homeowner's deductibles were $100. Nowadays, if you want a $100 deductible, you're usually paying more than $150 for the difference in the $250. It costs you more to go with a lower deductible than it does to go with a $250 deductible. In other words, the difference is $150. It'll cost you more than that to go for a $100 deductible. I would rather see people put that in their pocket and save the money.
I know you deal in all kinds of insurance. Obviously, you sell life insurance too, right?
We have a division that is financial services. We have a certified financial planner on staff, and they would handle, on the individual end, they would handle long-term care, they would handle life insurance, this long-term disability insurance, which is overlooked,
Explain to me how long-term insurance has changed over the years.
There's always changes. Every year there's some companies are coming with lower rates every year. And if your health is good, it might be worthwhile looking to change your term insurance. Years ago, term insurance was strictly insurance coverage. There was no cash value built up, and every year you got older, the price would go up higher and higher. So as you got older, the premium would be unaffordable. Now, insurance companies are writing 5, 10, 20, 30-year terms, level terms. The longer the term, it's a little bit more money, but it doesn't change year to year until the end of the term.
How important is your financial services division here? I gather it's pretty important. Am I right?
It goes hand in hand. You know, if you're insuring the car, the home, the liability, I mean, the biggest asset they have is themselves. If you can't go to work, who's going to pay the bills? That's the first question people have. If they die, then that's another problem. There's also estate taxes, there's pensions, I think it all goes hand in hand.
Let's get to the important part here. Why is it really important for people, both individuals as well as companies, to come here to get their insurance?
We try to give people the best service that we possibly can. And we have different departments. It's one-stop shopping. If you have a business, we can show you business. If you have a home, we could transfer you to another extension, and someone can handle your homeowner's coverage, your auto. And if there's a change in life, you need some financial services, we have a department for that also. So it's basically one-stop shopping, and we have excellent companies. We represent some excellent companies that have strong financials.
Give me some examples, because, as we know, you are an independent broker.
Basically, yes. But we have some direct accounts with some large carriers, such as Travelers, Chubb, MetLife, Auto Home, One Beacon, St. Paul, Seneca. We have a lot of large companies on a direct basis, and that's important these days, because a lot of companies have gone under, and financial stability is very important these days.
Another question I'm really intrigued is, you are located in the heart of what is known as the insurance district here in New York. I didn't even know there was one. But is that an advantage for you?
I think so. We sort of get the beat of what's going on. One block over is John Street, and that's where all the insurance companies and all the brokers were in the Manhattan area. They were all located downtown. All the insurance companies were around here, but they're starting to move departments out of the city, and there's a few companies around here, but they do have some representation locally in certain areas.
How many different insurance companies do you, as an independent broker, represent?
Altogether, well, I represent on a direct basis approximately 8 companies, but you can use wholesalers to go to any other company if need be, which would not increase the rate to the individuals themselves. They would be paying the same rate.
Any specific interesting stories about insurance and coverage that you've provided that kind of pop to your mind right now?
Just kidnap and ransom insurance. That's on the rise.
Really?
Yeah. There are a lot of corporations who deal in South America or third world countries. They can buy kidnap and ransom insurance.
Explain that to me. Why does a credit report come into play when someone wants to buy insurance?
Well, in underwriting, they find that people who have excellent credit scores have less claims, and it's become a very important factor now.
You know, as I understand it, a lot of companies, as a result of the events of 9/11, are now afraid to write insurance here in Manhattan. Is that true?
Yeah, there was a knee-jerk reaction right after 9/11. A lot of companies just pulled out of Manhattan, period. They canceled everything they had, which took its toll on us. But now a lot of companies are taking a second look, but they are being very careful. Some companies have certain property limits that they'll write, but they won't write close to, say, for instance, a Target, probably the stock market, Empire State Building, the UN. If you're within a radius of that, they don't want to touch it. If it's something they consider a target.
Talk to me about your staff. How many people do you have here, and what various things do they do?
We have 10 people on staff. We have a trilingual. We have actually someone who speaks Spanish, and someone who speaks Chinese. So we can cover a wide gamut of nationalities. A majority of the people have about 15, 20 years experience in the industry, and we also have some newcomers who we're training. So it's a wide gamut of employees. We have it split up in certain ways. We have 3 people in personal lines, and it's split up by the alphabet, depending on your last name. This way you know who you handle, and the same thing on the commercial lines. So this way you have one account exec who you can talk to, and they know everything about your account.
You know, there's very interesting decor in this room. All of these plaques we see around the wall. What are they? What do they represent? Tell me the stories.
From what I understand, well, they are fire marks. And the way I understand it is, in the old days, before they had insurance, you would pay dues to a fire company, and they would put a plaque on your house or in front of your house, and if you happen to have a fire, they would come up to the house. If they saw the plaque, they would put the fire out. If they didn't see the plaque, they would stand back and watch it burn, or go back to the firehouse.
Tell me a little bit about the history of this company. It's been around a while. You go back a number of years.
My father had this business. He started in the industry before World War II, and then when he came back, he jumped right back into the industry. And he bought a business from William Nash, so he made it Nash Solberg Company. And since then, I bought it from my father, kept the name Nash Solberg & Co. And then in '91, I merged with a man, John Campbell, Campbell Brokerage Corp. And we made the name Campbell Solberg Corp. And it's been, though, he retired a year ago, last August. And I kept the name, and we've been running ever since.
An inside look at the business of insurance from the head of a boutique insurance agency dedicated to providing their clients with the highest level of personal service available anywhere. The Campbell Solberg Insurance Agency of Lower Manhattan. I'm Doug Llewellyn, reporting from New York.
Thank you for joining us on this special edition of Close Up on America's Business.